So tell us about Wilbur's again. People would come and
they would weigh their babies on a meat scale down at the meat bench.
How often would that happen? Like daily? Or
Oh no, but
weekly?
I mean, they weren't doing it when they were 2 or 3 years old, but it would be a joke. It's like time to weigh the baby, and because they're calibrated, so.
What are some of the other funny things that happened at Wilbur?
Oh gosh, a lot of things.
Wilbur's used to have, I'll tell you, Wilbur's had sold fireworks. And one year, all of a sudden, something caught fire, and they had a fire at Wilbur Store.
Yeah, upstairs.
I don't know where it was, but you could buy fireworks there. My father would go down and just, probably get $2 or $3 worth, and he would bring them home and set them in front of the garage, and that's what was that for 4th of July.
When I first went to Wilbur's, they still had the big potbelly stove.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that was for quite a long time. That was really warm, but you stepped away from it and you're freezing in there. Freeze in the winter and sweat in the summer. That was Wilbur's.
Yeah. Although they kept it pretty well with that big stove.
They did, yeah, they did.
So Wilbur's was really a meeting place.
Oh, definitely, absolutely was a meeting place. Even when I was there, Abe Quick and Francis Bullock would come in every morning for their papers, and they'd have a big chit chat until they weren't speaking anymore, and then they would come separately, and then they'd be speaking again. But I learned a lot from Abe Quick. I loved him. He was great.
Yeah, he was a nice
I
man.
did not have a photo of my grandfather, my father's father, Ben Wilkie, and I didn't know where to go to get it. And I was talking to him one day, and he goes, "Oh, there's one hanging in the Oddfellows Hall." And he brought it to me. I never would have had it otherwise. I didn't know it.
Yeah.
I never went upstairs in the Oddfellows Hall except for the
He was
Christmas
a nice man
parties.
to work with, too, because I worked for
at the
several
post
years
office,
with him.
Yeah, he was a great guy. I wish he were here for this 350th. He was very big into the Rhode Island Red, and when we did the 100th anniversary in 1954, he was really involved with the state with that. I can tell you a little story about that. I was not very old. I had red hair, believe it or not. And there was Miss Rhode Island Red, and I was so excited I was going to see somebody else with red hair because I didn't really know anybody else. And when I saw her, she was a young Italian teenager from North Providence with black hair and a red curl right here. I was so disappointed. I think that was a political appointment. I went, not sure, but.
I wasn't here for that. Not here for that.
Oh, you weren't here for that? No. That was a fun thing. My dad was involved in that too.
Well, they sold cookies, and you had the boxes there, and you could pick out whatever ones you wanted, and then they weighed
Oh,
them.
at Wilbur's.
At Wilbur's.
Yeah.
Anybody was picking up.
Yeah, Department of Health
if
would be
this
not
kind, that
not happy
kind.
with that right now, sadly.
I remember the penny candy growing up in Wilbur's.
Yep. They didn't have penny candy when I went there because I went there in the 80s. But in fact, when I was growing up, we didn't go to Wilbur's. We went to Simmons. And they had penny candy right up.
Wilbur's came around and took your order,
And so did Simmons.
and then brought it back within the next day or so. So he would come down. Walker Pennington.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
And he would come in and sit, and my mother would tell him what she wanted. And then a couple of days later, up he came with. It was a little woven basket. In fact, I had one. I gave it to my granddaughter. That's what they brought it to you.
Yep. Well, Hap Simmons used to deliver ours.
And we didn't have, we weren't running to any other cities to get food.
Oh, good Lord, no.
It was right here. Whatever he needed, it was here.